wanted to make a video about Call of Duty because the past 5 or 6 of them have been honestly pretty bad in my opinion. Even going back to COD 2019, I think it was a good fundamental idea, but the game itself wasn't my thing. And to keep in mind, this is all personal preference and this is opinion based because someone in my last comment section couldn't get that and decided to just rage bait the fuck out of me. I just wanted to start off by saying Black Ops 3 Zombies was just so different. It hit so hard. Whether you were a casual player that just wanted to have some fun with friends, or a hardcore Zombies player that liked to do speedrunning or Easter eggs, it was so balanced at its core. I will never forget that first time I loaded up Eisendrache. This game even holds my favorite Zombies map of all time, Grove. In my opinion, there's nothing better than that map. It mixed fantasy with reality, I guess. Not really, because it's just zombies. But it felt like every map they made was a banger on top of a banger. And even now, looking back at it, we thought Zetsubu no Shima was a horrible map, but all the layouts of every single map had something different and very unique to them. Like when I think of Black Ops 1 or 2 Zombies, you can kind of grasp the map with the first, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes of them, but it felt like in Black Ops 3, the maps just kept going. And even to this day, I'm figuring out stuff that I've never seen in the maps before. The training spots on all the new ones, everything, it felt like they were just clicking and they were on point with damn near everything. But even when we're not talking about those main maps, they brought nearly every single fan favorite back. Which is like, come on. My personal favorites of the Black Ops 3 maps, obviously Gorod first. Shadows, I'm honestly going to put second. And even though I have more playtime on Zetsubo, I think Eisendrache is probably going to be the third. Just because Eisendrache was really the best map of all time in my opinion, when you look at it from a Zombies player perspective. It had the 4 crucial wonder weapons that you didn't have to do every single one of to do the Easter egg. Unlike some maps. It had great training spots, it had big open areas with small tight corridors, teleporters, it had a cool pack-a-punch mechanic with it teleporting everywhere, the rockets. I love that map so much. And man, just the feeling of the game overall. Don't even get me started on the weapons. I still use the Man-O-War Dingo to this day. But the hit markers, the zombie death sound effects, the zombie sound effects, all of the wonder weapons that game brought. The Apothecant Servant, Ray Gun Mark III, the f***ing fake Sliquifier on Zetsubo. I don't know what it's called actually. But man, they all did it so right. Now the main problem that I've seen everyone has had with the game is that it was pay to win with the gobblegums. But I think people also fail to realize the gobblegums were totally optional. I've done Easter egg runs, I've done speed runs, etc. without using gobblegums and with using them, and they offer totally different experiences. And I think that's awesome in a game like this. Switching up the variety and changing how you play, it's almost like a Dark Souls game, but it's a first-person shooter. And also, all the pack-a-punches had something unique about them. Whether it was going underwater on Zetsubo no Shima, collecting a bunch of different parts on Eisendrache, riding a freaking dragon on Grove, rituals on Shadows of Evil, they all had something cool about them. And all the camos, don't get me started on that Shadows of Evil camo. That shit is nice. Now, I want to talk about the Easter eggs themselves a little bit, because the Easter eggs in Black Ops 3 were done damn near perfect in my opinion. They made them super accessible while making them pretty complex in my opinion. Something they fumbled on in Black Ops 2, making them a little too complex but not very accessible, and then in Black Ops 4 making them a little bit too accessible without any real challenge behind them. Like man, I remember the first time I did Zetsubo, I remember the first time I played Zetsubo, I did most of it solo actually. I was going crazy because I thought I had a world record. Then I looked up the actual speedrun times and I was like 5-10 minutes off I think. But it's just so empowering, that feeling of doing something like that. And man, the storyline behind all the maps, I thought it was a great experience. And even the community, I mean the community was awesome during the time of Mr. Rafflewaffles, Noah J, JC, Mr. T, a bunch of peak YouTubers, all, you know, doing those Easter egg speedruns or first in the worlds, or getting that high round attempt like 71 on Grove. We all know what happened there. And man, like speaking of the community, have you guys ever played Black Ops 3 on PC? That's one of the best experiences you'll ever have. There's literally story maps I'm playing. Like there's no zombies, it's just a story. The game is just uncomparable to anything else. And I feel like the reason it doesn't hit the same anymore today is just because they removed stuff without adding too much, if you know what I mean. One of the main things I've always had a gripe with on the newer games, such as Cold War or Black Ops 4, is they took out points per bullet, meaning like if I shoot a zombie, I'll get 10 points for the bullet that just hit him. And in the newer CODs, it's just like 110 points per kill and maybe 130 for a headshot. And I feel like that completely removes the soul of Black Ops Zombies. Because what it felt like back then was you wanted to min-max whatever you could do. And it feels like the min-maxing now is just casually playing the game. And that sucks because the point of playing Black Ops 3 compared to now was was that it was a casual and a complex. Like when I hop on Cold War, I don't really find it fun. I never really did from when I first got on to like recently. And then I bought Black Ops 6 hoping that they'd change something. I don't know what I was hoping for, but it was the same experience. It's just after Black Ops 4, I'm not sure if you guys know how the storyline ends, but basically they killed off the original crew to stop the timeline or whatever that was going on. I know most of it, but in Black Ops Cold War, they decided to go with a whole new crew, which was basically just characters that you could buy on the market, and they didn't really put any soul into it, really. The story was just meh. Like, it was just a bunch of Dark Ether stuff, which is like, okay. And then they bring back Richtofen again, and I think they're planning to bring back the rest of the crew as well, which is like, why? Like, we stopped all this just because we thought the game was too repetitive at the time. But I mean, it's whatever. Not like I'm gonna play it. But just looking at it compared to all the games now, it's really crazy how good it was. Because to be able to consider it one of my favorite CODs of all time, if not my favorite COD of all time, and to say that it had a horrible campaign is crazy, because a lot of COD was the campaign. And I just want to touch on multiplayer a bit here. I mean, multiplayer was awesome. I loved the multiplayer in Black Ops 3. I think the jetpacks were amazing, and I think the gun selection was even better. And it's crazy to think that they could make a futuristic COD game with jetpacks and everything and make it flow super well. And I think a lot of people can agree that they didn't have many gripes with Black Ops 3, excluding the metas, because I know the VMP and the Vesper and the Man of War and the MA-A7, oh my god, that burst. The one-shot burst was... But when it comes down to it, I don't think many people had any gripes with the Black Ops 3 multiplayer. And it kind of really offered that last... I won't say that, because I do think Infinite Warfare wasn't a terrible game, but I believe it offered the last piece of really enjoyable Call of Duty for us. Because as soon as 2019 hit, it was all about movement in a non-movement game that was supposed to be more realistic than the last ones. And it just didn't sit right with me. But I mean, yeah, I just think Black Ops 3 was truly the pinnacle of Call of Duty, in my opinion. You could say Black Ops 2, considering it had GOAT Zombies, GOAT multiplayer, and a GOAT campaign, but to be able to be one of the best CODs with missing that crucial piece being campaign, it's really crazy. And I think Black Ops 3 had the most enjoyable experience out of the three. I think it was the most replayable. I think it was, well, I guess out of the 7 now, but it was the most replayable. It was the most enjoyable. It had the most content. And even now, you still see a bunch of people playing Black Ops 3 over the new ones just because there's so much more behind it. But yeah, that really concludes my yap session about this. I don't think they can get the game right anymore. I haven't enjoyed the last 2 or 3 at all, and Cold War was just kind of meh to me. And the skins are so like, why can't I get on the game and play as the red light girl from Squid Games? Like, that's so stupid. But to you guys, is Black Ops 3 the peak of Call of Duty, or what's your take on the opinion? For those of you who have played it, what's your favorite map or wonder weapon? You can let me know in the comments. I'm done. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a quick little yap session. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions, and yeah, see you guys next time.
No, you can help me. You're a doctor. Wait. Don't you know who I am? I have been witness to miracles and calamities. Dimensions born and collapse. I wanted to keep going. This me. My slightest heart. You won't even remember.